Hey everybody, welcome back to Hoffman Reproductions. Thank you for tuning in with us again today. An exciting video today that we're going to do something that I have been wanting to do for quite a while now. We are going to test several different batches of homemade black powder using the same methods that we have outlined in our previous videos, with the difference being each one of these powders, and I've got 4, has been made with a different type of charcoal. Now the milling process, the mixing, the chemicals are all the same, with the one item that is different, the charcoals. Charcoal, without a doubt, if you get into homemade black powder making, is the one item that will give you the most difference in your powder. Different charcoals will yield powders that are stronger, weaker, how clean they burn, how much energy they generate. Each one acts just a little bit differently. So on this video, we're going to, as I said, test 4 different types. We're not just going to guess at the performance. We've got a chronograph set up, so we're going to get some digital readouts. Now, if you're not familiar with that machine, it's just simply a device that measures the feet per second. So we're going to see which one of these powders is performing the best, and hopefully get some interesting results. So we're going to go ahead and get loaded up, turn the camera around, and see what happens. So stay tuned. Alright, so I've got my little Kentucky 45 caliber CVA here loaded up. All of our shots are going to be using the exact same type of ammunition, pillow ticking patching, same grease, .4330 round ball, and the exact same powder charge of 60 grains of our homemade black powder. This first several shots is going to be out of charcoal that has been made of pine, so pine charcoal on this first one. Now, the load data that I printed off from GoX states that for a 45 caliber using 60 grains, we should be getting around 1,500 to 1,600 feet per second. This will probably be less, I would imagine, because our powder has not been pressed or pucked. So I'm expecting it to be less, but we'll see exactly what it is and how it differs from charcoal to charcoal. So we'll get our ears on and shoot our first shot. Alright, so for our first shot, we are at 1,388 feet per second. As I said, less than GoX, but still not too bad. So we'll fire another round out of the pine charcoal and see what we get. Alright, second shot out of our pine charcoal homemade black powder. $1,344 on that one. Alright, our third and final shot with our pine charcoal black powder. $1,352 feet per second. Okay, now we have switched over to homemade black powder made from grapevine charcoal, wild grapevine charcoal. So we'll see how this does. Okay, significantly better. That was up to 1,466 feet per second. Alright, shot number 2 with our grapevine charcoal homemade black powder. $1,478 on that one. Third and final shot of grapevine charcoal. $1,490. Okay, so this is going to be our silver maple charcoal. This is the stuff I sell in the kits, and this is what GoX Black Powder Company uses to produce their powder. So we'll see what kind of an effect we get with this. 1,427. Now that surprises me a little bit. The Grapevine is generating more power, so that's interesting. Okay, second shot, silver maple black powder. $1,396. Okay, third and final shot of our silver maple black powder charcoal. $1,349. Okay, so for our last powder, this is a new charcoal one I have not tested. This is Buckthorn alder charcoal with this powder. $1,548. We might be onto something here. Okay, second shot of our Buckthorn alder charcoal black powder. $1,529. Okay, third and final shot, Buckthorn alder. $1,558. Alright, so that was pretty interesting. We got some really good results there. I was happy with all four of those black powders. I wouldn't be disappointed if I had to shoot any of those. I was swabbing in between shots. Some of the powders did seem to be a little more dirty than others, so some more investigation to do there. On the pine charcoal, the best shot feet per second that we got was 1,388, with the others hovering in the mid 1300s. It was the weakest powder. The second strongest, and this kind of surprised me, I thought this would be runner-up to the best. Second strongest was the silver maple charcoal, and the strongest feet per second, most powerful we got off of that was 1,427 feet per second. They all hovered in the 1,300, 1,400 area. The Grapevine, that surprised me. That was a strong performer. The best feet per second that it gave was 1,490, so that really surprised me. That was some powerful powder. And the fourth powder that I used and referenced, Buckthorn alder, the most powerful reading we got off of that was 1,558. And that's impressive because, I mean, we're right there with GoX, and this powder is the old-fashioned loose grained uncorned powder, so it's performing with a corned powder, just changing the charcoals up. So that is impressive for a homemade black powder that has not, as I said, been corned or pressed. Now, for an upcoming video, I'm going to expand a little bit on this Buckthorn alder and do some more testing with it. Obviously, it is a powerful charcoal to produce homemade black powder with, and here, come to find out, that is what the Swiss Black Powder Company uses for charcoal. It is Buckthorn alder. That may be the key as to why it burns so cleanly and is used, because it's powerful. Because I can imagine when we corn this powder, which is what I'm planning to do in our next video, it's going to be even more powerful. And if we can harness the power of the Buckthorn alder along with the cleanliness, we're right there with the best, most premium gunpowder, black powder in the world, Swiss black powder. So I'm excited to expand on that. I'm not just guessing as to what they use. If you go on Swiss Black Powder's website, it says right there in the description of this powder, if you read, that that is the type of charcoal they use. Thankfully, it grows here in Ohio, and I found a large amount of it here in the woods. I've already cut a big pile of it and have it drying in my shop, so that's probably when I'm going to start producing our homemade black powder charcoal that we have with our kits out of that stuff. But that was the findings that I got. Again, I was pleased with every one of those. Each one performed a little better than the others, was a little cleaner one way or the other, with the Buckthorn, alder being a standout in the crowd. So with that in mind, yes, commercially available black powder, you can get it now, but since this is performing so well, myself personally, I'll probably never buy commercially made black powder charcoal again unless I was not able to produce this homemade stuff, because it's right on par with commercial powder, and we haven't even made it as good as it can be. So that was the results of the findings. I hope you enjoyed this video. We appreciate you tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe. That helps us a lot and will keep the videos coming. And until next time, take care.